morning. In this session, what I'd like to do is demonstrate some of the fundamentals of Excel and talk about a quick little spreadsheet workbook that we can create that will help us track our expenses. So here we go. Fundamentals. This is Excel 2010. And in Excel, we have a basic interface that is common to all of Office 2010. It has the title bar at the top, which includes the Quick Access Toolbar. It has tabs. It has the ribbon. So the ribbon runs all the way across here. Tabs start with File, and then we have Home, Insert, Page Layout and Formulas, Data, Review, and View. Below the ribbon, we have the name box and the formula bar, and then we have the worksheet area. This is the work area. In the work area, we have columns A through a whole bunch, and we have rows 1 through a whole bunch. And we'll talk about the capacity of a workbook later. For right now, we're going to talk about rows 1 through about 20, and columns A through G or a few more. And when you have an intersection of a row and column, you have a cell. A cell is where you put data, and every cell can contain data. So we're going to create a quick little register that will help us track our expenses and our cash flow. So here we go. In A1, we're going to type date. We're going to press the Tab key on the keyboard to go to the right. If I press Enter, it'll go down. If I press the Tab key, it goes to the right. Okay, in column, or in cell B1, we're going to type number, and then we're going to tab, we're going to type the location, tab description, tab debit, tab credit, tab balance. When I press Enter here, because I'm done going across for the moment, when I press Enter here, it will not go straight down. Because I've been tabbing, Excel says, well, if you're creating a table of data, then when you press Enter, you'll probably want to start back here. And start here and put the next row of information in. So when I press Enter, it should go back to somewhere over here, depending on whether I tab straight across or whether I stopped and made some corrections. It went to A2. So in A2, we're going to assume that we're opening an account at a bank, and to do that we need an opening balance. So in the opening balance, we're going to say that we started this about November 1st. And I'm just going to put in 11/1. And I'm going to tab. Notice that it changes it to 1 November. And we'll take a look at that in a second. Number, there isn't anything. Location, I did this in Riverside. Description is opening balance. There is no debit, a credit, $1,000. And now, we're going to take a look at a couple of different issues that happen here. First one, we want this to be calculated, not typed. We want it to be calculated. So I'm going to reference the opening credit, which is an F2, to G2. And to do that, I'm just going to press the equal sign, which is how we start all formulas. And when your elements or pieces of a formula are in close proximity, I like using the arrow keys. A lot of people don't know how to do that. I'm going to show you. So if this is my formula cell, if I press the left arrow key once, it's going to start from there and go left, and it's going to say, you must want to do something with this. So I'm going to say, yes, that's the one I want to reference. I'll just press Enter, and it brings this value over to here. If I change this value, it will automatically update this cell as well. So on that day, I had some bills to pay, and so I used a temporary check, which is highly unlikely. And I went to, in Riverside, I went to the electric company, paid $90.75. There is no credit. We either do a debit or a credit on the same line. There might be some occasion when you want to do both, but we're just going to do a debit on this line. Now what I want to do in G2 is I want to create a formula that I can duplicate down, and it will always tell me my current balance. So in order to do that, again, I'm going to start a formula by pressing equals. I'm going to say that the current balance is equal to the previous balance minus the current debit, excuse my terminology, minus the current debit plus the current credit equals the current balance. So here, equals current balance starts with the previous balance, so I up arrow once, and I say I'm going to take out the current debit. So I'm going to press the minus key, watch this cell pointer. Notice that it's already put that in there, the minus, so the active cell is back to here again, formula cell. I'm going to left arrow twice. So I'm subtracting the current debit, and I'm going to add the current credit because I want to be able to duplicate this down. So I'm going to press the plus key, which is going to move it back to the formula cell. Oops. Plus key. There we go. And then left arrow and enter. So here I have the result of my current formula. Now what I can do is I can take this and create a block going down, and I can say, okay, I want to duplicate this formula all the way down. So I've selected the cells I want to copy it into, and I do a Control D for duplicate. And it automatically copies that formula down and maintains the reference values. So notice that G2 minus E3 plus F3. G4 is equal to G3 minus E4 plus F4. So as I put in transactions here, it will automatically update my values. Now, notice that I've got dollars and cents here, I've got dollars here, okay? I've got dollars and cents here, and I've got dollars and cents, but my formatting is all over the place. Got no decimal point, no cents. I've got decimal point, one column, so 50 cents. But I want to make them all look the same, so I want them to be kind of standardized. So we have a way to do that up here in the number formatting, okay? Notice there's a comma format here. So I'm just going to go up here, and I'm going to say all of these need to be a number format. So I select a block, click and drag to create a block, and I simply press on the comma style, and now everything is in dollars and cents, commas at thousands, and so on, or every 3 digits going left, cents, decimal point, and 2 places past the decimal point for cents. So now we have some commonality to our number format. Now what about this opening balance bleeding over into the debit? Well, it does that because there's nothing here. So we want to carry that out a little bit, just to make it wider. So I'm going to point to the column header separator between D and E because description here is in column D. And I'm just going to right-click it. Notice that I get the bar with its double-headed arrow. Once I do that, I know that I'm in the column width editing mode. So I can right-click, and I can say column width, and it comes up with a number, 8.43, which is kind of the standard. I'm just going to take it out to 30. And notice that it widens it out. Now, there's another thing I could have done. I could have pointed here, again with my mouse pointer,